and welcome to today's program as the World Affairs Council of Greater Houston hosts a conversation with Consul General of Indonesia, Nana Yuliana. I'm Standia Bayu, Director of Development at the World Affairs Council of Greater Houston. It's our hope that you and your families are doing well. We are so glad you joined us today. I want to invite all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all of our recently recorded and upcoming programs. It's so much easier when the programs are delivered directly to your inbox, isn't it? Now, more than ever, it's important to stay informed about what is happening not only in our city, but around the world. The World Affairs Council of Greater Houston brings foreign affairs experts right into your home. For those new to the Council, you can find listings of all our upcoming programs and activities on our website, wachhouston.org. Now on to our program. Mrs. Nana Yuliana took the position of Indonesia's Consul General in Houston in September of 2017. Prior to her position as the Consul General, she was Director of Mid-Career Diplomatic School at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. Consul General was previously posted at the Embassy of Indonesia in Manila, as well as later on at the Embassy of Indonesia in Bangkok, and was the permanent representative of Indonesia to United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific. Consul General, it's such an honor to call you a friend of the Council. So much pleasure and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Sandia, and also the World Affairs Council for having me this afternoon. I also would like to congratulate the World Affairs Council for the celebration of 50 years. It is an honor also for me to share what happened probably in Indonesia and how does COVID-19 already affect our diplomacy work probably.
Absolutely. And let me start with wishing all the blessings of the holy month of Ramadan as well.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and it is a challenge for us beside the COVID-19, and we also for the Muslim majority people in Indonesia and also in my working area celebrating the Ramadan where we have to fast for a month.
Sure. How are you? How's your family doing?
I'm doing good, and also the family also great, and I'm happy also that almost all of the Indonesian citizens in my working areas are doing good. Of course, there are very small numbers affected by COVID-19, but so far we are always monitor what they are doing and try to assist what we can do to recover from the COVID-19.
Sure. So glad to hear that everybody is well at the office too.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking at the background. I see a photo of President and the Vice President. May I ask you to explain the letters behind you? And also, I believe it's a coat of arms.
Yes, that's right. Yes, if you look at the photos there, on the my right side, it is the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo. He was elected in the last election in 2019. And on the left is our Vice President, Mr. Ma'ruf Amin. And you see on the red panel, KJRI is an abbreviation from Consul General Republic Indonesia. It is in Indonesian language. And you see also the coat of arms of Indonesia. And there's a wording, very interesting about the wordings because it says Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, meaning that unity in diversity, because Indonesia is the fourth biggest population in the world, and we have 633 ethnicity in Indonesia. That motto is unite all the people in Indonesia. I think it's almost the same like in the United States. You have so many.
What a rich heritage. I think many of us probably don't even realize how rich that culture is there. For our viewers, would you let us know a bit better how many constituents approximately are kind of under your guidance? Or how
I cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cover 10 states from New Mexico until Florida, including also 2 territories, Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands. So all together is almost 21,000 Indonesian citizens. And the most populated Indonesian, of course, in Texas, around 9,000. And the second biggest is in Georgia, and the third one is in Florida. And in Houston area, in greater Houston area, we have around 3,000 Indonesian citizens. It is not included Indonesian diaspora, of course, but if we count with them, it is more than the numbers.
Wow,
Yeah.
thank you. That's really great to know again, and I appreciate how much work that is for you to manage that many constituents. During our earlier conversation the other day, we were speaking about the priorities of the consulate, what they typically are. But given the current environment, you mentioned that there has been a shift.
Yes, that's true. As instructed by Jakarta, we promoted economic diplomacy at our most priority. I think every Indonesian mission abroad, they have to give a priority for economic diplomacy. But since pandemic COVID-19, we shift our priority to the protection of Indonesian citizens. Mostly we have more than 6,000 Indonesian seafarers at the moment in the three ports in Miami and also in Galveston, including also in New Orleans. They are stranded there because the crews are not operating anymore, so we have to do the repatriation for our Indonesian seafarers at the moment. So this is our challenge because it's not easy. First thing, the cruise line, of course, they have to rent a charter flight, and then also there's a lot of restrictions also from other ports when they pass. So the flight clearance, and then also the healthy of the seafarers itself, if they have COVID in the cruise or non-COVID, we have a different protocols when they arrive in Indonesia. So that's our priority at the moment during COVID-19. And beside that, we also give a monitor and also give the information to our citizens about health and also to our students that have to be going home because the school is have to go home, and it's not easy to find flights to go home. Beside that, also in Indonesia at the moment, since April 24 until June, there is a restriction for domestic flights. So this is a thing that we have to do in the consulate at the moment.
That's, I would say, a lot of challenge, and I salute you to coordination of 6,000 or more people that need to be moved globally, especially at a time that we are with so many restrictions. And so I wish you all the best, and to them too also to return home safely.
Yeah.
Talking about home, talking about Indonesia, how is Indonesia doing? Maybe there's a update you can share with us on a virus in Indonesia.
Yes, of course, in Indonesia itself, I think the same happened same thing happened like in the US. So far, as of 27th of April, confirmed with a positive COVID is 9,000 people, almost 10,000, but then recovered 1,200, and the death reached 800 people. At the moment, Indonesian government give a restriction for a domestic flight to the red zone area. Red zone area meaning that the area that are infected by COVID, but mostly the areas, the provinces in Indonesia are affected by COVID. The biggest number is actually in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia, because of the densely population there, and of course the COVID spread it very easily. So that's why the government now regulate very strictly for the transportation, not only flight, but also through vessels, and also the land transportation. It is restricted in the zone areas at the moment. And also the government regulate for those, because this is a fasting month, impose not to go home to their hometown.
Sure.
Usually at the end of Ramadan, people will go home to meet their parents, their relatives, But at this time, the government restrict for those who will celebrate the end of Ramadan in their hometown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the new normal, I think, for for the whole world, just as China and the region had to miss out on the Chinese New Year's and a lot of holidays here also in the Western Hemisphere. And so it looks the same for the Ramadan as well.
Right.
How about expanding a bit into the Southeast Asia region, your neighbors, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea?
Yeah. Well, of course, the relationship or the cooperation with our neighbors, it is through bilateral and also through ASEAN organization. The ministers of foreign affairs and also the ministers of health already meet, but of course it is virtual meeting.
Sure.
To coordinate among the ASEAN member countries. As for your information, we have 10 ASEAN member countries, 10 member countries, and they already discuss and share best practices to respond to the COVID-19 and also pledging for food security in ASEAN. And also with United States, ASEAN United States, they also had a high-level conference on the global COVID-19 pandemic. So all the ministers of foreign affairs, including also the Minister of Mike Pompeo from the United States, they already discussed how to respond and have a collaboration amid a crisis, and also see the opportunities and challenges in this respect. In terms of bilateral, Indonesia and United States just celebrated the 70th anniversary of our diplomatic relation last December, actually. So it's only 4 months ago. Both of the head of the countries, the president of United States and also president of Indonesia, already discussed how to help each other. At the moment, the president of Indonesia requests to have the medical supplies, the ventilator from Indonesia, and I'm glad to inform you that President Trump will also extend their support for providing the ventilator and other stuff, medical stuff, especially to Indonesia. So from time to time, I think the relationship between Indonesia and United States is getting stronger, and especially during the pandemic COVID-19 itself.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic to hear, and how the unfortunate situation have brought so many nations together. It's really so great news to hear. Again, this was just a quick visit with us to say how you are doing, how your family is doing, of course, how your employees, staff, friends are doing, and we are extremely grateful for your time. We're extremely, again, grateful for supporting our organization. And again, we celebrate the 70th anniversary of the diplomatic relations, and conversations like that, like we just had. I think it's very important to have that people-to-people exchange and the soft diplomacy and opportunity for our members to engage and ask questions. So thank you again for your time. We wish you all the best. Please stay healthy. And for our viewers, please, again, this recording will be on our YouTube channel and so many others. So see you on the YouTube channel or a website, or when the time is right, please join me in program in face-to-face opportunity here in Houston, Texas. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Consul General, and all
Thank you very much.
To you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandia, and good luck for the World Affairs Council. And I'm very happy to share what we are doing, and congratulations also for the program and the creativity that is conducted by World Affairs Council.
Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon. I will look forward to seeing you.